في تدليل وأرسل عليهم طيرا أبابيل ترميهم بحجارة من سجيل فجعلهم كعصف مأكول. Okay, one more. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. ألم تر كيف فعل ربك بأصحاب الفيل ألم يجعل كيدهم في تدليل وأرسل عليهم طيرا أبابيل ترميهم بحجارة من سجيل فجعلهم كعصف مأكول. Yasham?
Surah Al-Fil, chapter 105 of the Quran, was revealed in Makkah. The main themes of this surah are indication to the incident of the army of the elephants and their evil consequences, reminder of the supreme power of Allah.
Yeah, before we describe, I think it is good to talk about the background, two things about Makkah and about Abraha. Yeah, as we know that the city of Makkah is the result of dua Prophet Ibrahim alaihissalam. So Ibrahim alaihissalam, when he dropped his children, yeah, he dropped his children in the desert. He made a dua, and one of the dua is Rabb ij'al hadha baladan amina. You know, Allah, make this city the secure city. Warzuqhum minas thamarat, and also provide them with the fruit, mean with everything they need. This is very genius, right? Because if you live in the country or the city, if there is no secure, you don't want to live there, right? But maybe they're secure, everything, safe, but there is no job, no food. Also, you don't want to live there. So Ibrahim alayhis salam, he asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala two things: security and prosperity. And on that time, Ibrahim said, I want to give all this blessing only to the believer. Man amana minhum, right? But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Ibrahim, this is not your business. Those who believe, don't believe, I will provide with security and prosperity. Yeah. And Alhamdulillah, the dua Ibrahim is continue. Right? And because of this dua, the Quraysh, they received certain status, privilege. Yeah. Because they become what? They became the custodian of Makkah. And people from everywhere, from Yemen, from Sham, every year, certain man, they always come to Makkah for two things: for Hajj or Umrah, and also to put their idols. So to get the blessing, they have two idols. The idol put in the Kaaba, right? And they have to pay. So this is for Quraysh's business. Yeah. So therefore, why this surah will remind the Quraysh of the blessing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give to them. And also Quraysh, if they travel anywhere, people will welcome him, protect him, honor him. Why? Number one, because they are the custodian of Kaaba. Number two, because if they mess up with them, you know, Quraysh can mess up with their gods. And also maybe if they come to Makkah, they are in trouble. Yeah. So this is privilege that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives them. So that Quraysh, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give them a lot of blessing. And then remember in Surah Al-Buruj, Allah mentioned about Qutila ashabul ukhdud, the people of Ukhdud, of the trench of ditch, where the pagans king in Yemen, they kill about, burn 20,000 people, men, women, and children, put in the ditch, and they burn them. And everybody died except one person. So this person escaped and they ran to Sham. And the Sham, they meet with the Najashi king, a Christian king, right? And told the story. Because those people who are put in the ditch is Christian, the true Christian, believe it's only one God and Jesus, messenger of God. So the king Najashi got angry. So he sent two group of soldiers, led by one general, his name Aryat, second one called Abraha. And then when they arrived there, they're looking for the king of Nuwas al-Himyari. Nuwas al-Himyari, the king that burned all the people on that time. So they got him and they killed him. But because these two generals very strong, they have followers, they're always fighting. They all have problem. So one day the Aryat said, look, either you or me. So therefore we have to have duels. Let me go to the remote area or nobody there and we fight. And whoever win, Holas, he'll be in charge in Yemen. And that happened. And Aryat almost able to kill Abraha, but Abraha bodyguard was hiding to stab him from behind. So Abraha, nobody know what happened. So he went back to Yemen because I am the winner. I am now the one who in charge in Yemen. So on that time, Yemen is part of the Ethiopia. So it's very strong, Najashi. Yeah. So Abraha, they want to please his king, Najashi. And they said, I would like to build a church that no one have been built like that. So it's beautiful church. And then he said, I would like to invite and push everybody, instead go to Makkah for Hajj, they go to our church, our temple. It's very huge, it's beautiful church, right? So they when people come to Makkah, they block them and they lead them to them. So it was, because everybody wants to go to Makkah because Makkah, they know for Ibrahim alayhi salam. So it's not very successful. So he get angry, but what do you have to do? So he planned to attack Makkah and to destroy the Kaaba. Yeah. So he was thinking about that. And then this Arab Bedouin, he heard what he did. So at night he went to the church. I'm sorry, he do number one, number two, and I put it in the wall, and he left. And Abraha, he heard that. So Abraha already planned to attack Makkah, but now he able to mobilize his people now because, look at our sanctuary, our holy place, the Arab, they make it dirt there. Yeah. So therefore Abraha, with the huge soldiers, they left Yemen, and then on the way, he was blocked by a group of people, and there was some fighting there, but nobody can defeat them because very huge soldiers, is about maybe more than 60,000 beside the elephant, and one elephant called Mahmud, the biggest elephant. So any elephant that we have now is like baby for this big elephant. So Najasi give to him to attack them. So elephant on that time is like a tank. Yeah. So they captured the leader his name was Novel. They captured him and bring him together. And then when he arrived in Taif, the Banu Thaqif, they also escort them to show them the way to Makkah. Yeah. And then they stopped up in the gate of Makkah, still far away, not close. And they made a camp there, and then sent someone to bring the leader of Arab on the time. So I met Abdul Muttalib, the Prophet grandfather. He's the leader. So when he came, the Abraha was amazed with his good looking, big, strong, right, handsome. Yeah. So Abraha said, we come here to destroy your holy place. If you, did not do nothing, I will not bother you. We came here just to destroy the Kaaba. Just leave us alone. And Abdul Muttalib, he said, look, I just need you to release our camel. So what happened? They captured 100 camel belong to Abdul Muttalib and his people. And Abrah said, man, I was amazed with your good looking. I thought you are a smart person. You are intelligent. We came here to negotiate about your holy city. I was thinking before you asked me just, leave it the Kaaba alone. But no, you don't care about your holy place. You care only about the camel. But look at the answer of Abdul Muttalib. He said, Ana Rabbul Ibil. I am the master of Ibil. Right? Walil Ka'bati Rabbun. And the Kaaba, it has one master. You'll fight with his master. Okay. Subhanallah. Yeah. So then Abdul Muttalib went to the Kaaba. He made dua in the gate of Kaaba. Ya Allah, this is your holy place. No one can defend this place except you, Allah. It's up to you. I put my trust in you. And he asked all Meccan people to go to the mountain. Because Abdul Muttalib is smart. Abraha, after finish, destroy the Kaaba, they would kill everybody here. And there was plan also. They're going to kill all the baby, woman. This was the plan also. Yeah. So as you know, Abraha came. But what happened is, when they come close to the Kaaba, the biggest elephant, the plan is to tie the Kaaba by big elephant and also the other elephant, so they can crash like this just one time. Remember, on the way he was fighting with the group of people on Arab also. So his name was Nawfal. So Nawfal whispered in the ear of the elephant, the big elephant. His name Mahmud. He said, Mahmud, you are God creation, and you're going to destroy God's house. Yeah. You want to destroy God's house, and so something he can give advice. So we learn from here something the animal also understand. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give understanding to the animals. Many story over there. So he stopped. He beat him and push him. He stopped. But he when turn him to Yaman, he ran until they tied his leg, his neck with all this elephant. But look at how big this elephant is not move. Yeah. And then, of course, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what you call, send the birds, yeah, and destroy them. So that's the background about Makkah and Abraha. Yeah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألم تر كيف فعل ربك بأصحاب الفيل Alam, have you not? This question. Have you not seen? Yeah. Tara means seen. Right? How, your Lord deal with the people of the elephants. Yeah. Yasham? You have to unmute some. You have to unmute some. Brother Sam?
Yeah.
You have to unmute here.
The surah reminds about the event when the Kaaba was attacked by an army from the southern part of Arabia, but Allah destroyed this army. It is the same God who protected the Kaaba. His message is now presented by Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
So let's now look at how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala addressed the issue, right? And when this happened, Muhammad, he said it only just baby, maybe one day, 2 day. He just born on that time, right? But the Quran said, Alam taro, have you not see? Did you see something like that? It's very interesting, right? So because baby, they never see that. No. But here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tell Muhammad sallallahu Muhammad, because it came from me, you know, everything I'm going to tell you is like you see it in by your eyes. Like you see what? By your eyes. Because it come from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Look like you was watching, you was witness on that time. Right? And then the word taro is fi'lul mudari, is presented, mean continuous. You know? Sometimes we said, oh, I see. Yeah. And then he said the word kaifa. Kaifa mean how. Yeah. Mean Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala invite us because how the huge soldier, the number of soldiers is double than the number of the Meccan people. For example, if Meccan people have 30,000, so this is what, 60,000, right? And no one can fight against them. And also, they are very good in fighting. But look at how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala deals. So, how? So, just ask us to reflect. Yeah. Fa'ala rabbuka. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used the word rabbuka here. Because the word Rabb has connection with caring. That means how your Lord who care about you, who protect you, right? Who provide you, right? The word Rabb is, therefore when we make dua, it is better to say Rabbana than Ilahana. Because the word Rabb, have connection with the love, kindness, yeah. Like for example, the Arab also for the father, the honor, Rob Usrah. Right? I am you all your parent is Rob for his family. Look at when how you deal when your son, your daughter is sick. When something that happened, everybody, all as a parent, you want to make sure your children eat, drink, you provide with this, because what? We are robbed of our family. Imagine Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right? Yeah. So and also, even is for Muhammad, but the word alam taro, have not you see, is also for Quraysh. Because many of them on that time maybe was 20, 25, no, they are 70, some maybe 60. That means they are in the mountain. They see when the bird attack them. They are witness. Right? This is to show that Muhammad is true prophet. How a baby Muhammad, he can describe, what happened. Now, because the story of the Ashabul Fil is continue. People, 50 years, people still remember. Everybody's still talking about that. Talk about the bird and everything. So now, how Muhammad can describe, is so beautifully about how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala destroy the enemy. Yeah. Alam yaj'al kaidahum fi tadlil. Did he not make their plan into misguidance? Yeah.
This means that the designs of the people of the elephant were useless, incapable of achieving anything at all. They were like someone who had lost his way and thus could not arrive at his destination. Perhaps this is a reminder to the Quraysh of the grace God bestowed on them when He protected and preserved the house at a time when they felt too weak to face the mighty aggressors, the people of the elephant. Such remembrance was perhaps intentionally meant to make them feel the disgrace when they persistently denied God after He had helped them out of their weakness.
Yeah. So as we can remember, so this surah basically is to wake up, to make the Quraysh aware how Allah SWT defend the city. Yeah. Allah SWT did not ask them to what you call to defend, because you cannot defend them. Right? But remember that this is only the time, this is the only the time Allah SWT defend, because most people on that time, they are what? They are pagans, unbelievers. But after that, you know, many times that Kaaba has been attacked, you know, Allah SWT now give the protection of Kaaba to the people. But the word is, Allah SWT said, kaidahum. Kaid means plan and plot. You know, most people who make plan and plot because of what? Because they are weak. You fight against something strong, so you make plan at night, right? So this is also Allah SWT mentioned in many ayah, right? That wa makaru wa makarallah. Yeah, they make plan and plot, and Allah made plan and plot, but Allah plan is always the winner. Yeah. So fi tadlil mean they are unsuccessful. Right? Allah SWT made their plan with his sujud is fell. But it's not only for Abraha, you know, it's for continue. Allah SWT, you know, almost take care. But Allah SWT did not what you call when people make plan and plot and come to us, Allah SWT want to check us first. How is our reaction? How our sacrifice? Yeah. If you look at in the battle of Khandaq, Khalas, 10,000 soldiers come from Makkah. Inside, they have Jews and all the enemies. The Muhammad was surrounded. The Quran said the enemy from the top, from the front. But the Sahaba, they fought, they stay firm, right? And after Allah saw that, Allah sent what? Send the volcano, send the wind, and destroy everything. Right? So this will be continue. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make their plan is unsuccessful. Many happen. For example, you know, the one who make movie about Muhammad, the Dutchman, you know, he become ambassador for Islam now. Yeah, he spent not money for that movie. But then after he learned about Islam, he became defenders, right? And I heard many a story also now in France, you know, when people try to insult Muhammad SAW, a lot of people learn about Islam. That I heard. Yeah. وَأَرْسَلَ عَلَيْهِمْ طَيْرًا أَبَابِيلَ. وَأَرْسَلَ mean Allah sent to them or against them bird in flocks. Yeah.
This surah shows us that the smallpox and measles were produced by solid stones carried and thrown on the soldiers by a colossal flock of birds that are helped on their way by winds. It is in line with this report to believe that those birds mentioned in the surah refer to a kind of fly or mosquito which carries the germs of some diseases.
Yeah. So what happened, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, again here, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala want to make any plan fail, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah could send what? Maybe another elephant is bigger than them. He sent what? He said, Ababil is small bird. The bird that carry a stone, right? A stone in their mouth, in their what you call two leg. Yeah. Yeah. And when they stone it, and then also every bird, right? They know which that they have to attack. And when they attack them and they come to for example, their hand, to the finger falling down, to the body, the skin falling down. Yeah. And very interesting that Allah let Abraha did not attack by the bird. The bird just follow him. So when Abraha he saw his soldier died one by one, so he turned back with some of them. And Allah SWT did not let the birds stun them, but they can see in the top. They were scared. And the birds start attack them when they're close to Yemen. You know, and he still feel it, the pain in the world. And continue Yemen, and then the people came, and then the story what happened. While he was talking story, the birds start attacking now. When they're attacking, so the skin come out, the meat come out. People can see everything, right? And then he said, in the end, even their heart come out. And then he died. Why is it let Abraha, the bird attack him until close to Yemen? So the people there will not think again to attack Makkah anymore. Look at what happened, right? No one will think about what you call to revenge because what happened. And the word sijil here, yeah, they have the word ababil is basically in the beginning languages, but they become Arab. The Arab adapted the language after a while. Like for example, the word Quran have, Wabizajuha kafuro, kafur. Kafur is a special, like the oud from Indonesia. So there's Indonesian language there. That's why during the Sa'ad bin Waqqas went there. And the Arab know already what is kafur. So the Arab familiar with the word ababil, right? And so on and so on. Sometimes even you go to Egypt now, sometimes, for example, cafe become gahwaji. Gahwaji. G is mostly Turkish language. Yeah. So not all in the Quran, like Ibrahim is not Arabic language. Ismail not Arabic language. Yeah. All this come. But there's because Arab was familiar with the language, so Allah SWT sent down the word that the Arab on that time, they are familiar. Yeah. So Tarmihim bihijaratim min sijil. So what the bird did, striking them with stone of hard clay. Yeah. Sean?
The Quran uses a Persian term, sijil, which denotes stone and clay, to describe the substance with which the bird struck the aggressors. It is a vivid image of the physical shattering of the Abyssinian army as they were stricken with these muddy stones. Then this day touched any organism, it penetrated deep into it and then caused complication in wounds and injuries, which upset the whole body, leading to the dropping of the flesh.
Oh no. Yeah. A small bird. Yeah. Of course, some mufassir, they said the bird is a metaphor. He said Allah SWT sent like a pandemic, like suddenly, what you call their body was affected with the like small insect or something like that. Yeah, but that's not very strong because when Muhammad SAW mentioned about the bird, about the stone, there's no single Arab said, "Hey, I was there on that time." The way the Quran describes is not true. Right? There's no bird, for example. Right? So this is like for Arab at that time, like they watch a movie. They see the bird, they see how they attack them. Yeah. فَجَعَلَهُمْ كَأَسْفٍ مَأْكُولٍ. Yeah. And he made them like eaten straw. Yeah. So,
leaving them like chewed up leaves. Kasfim makul. Asmakul is straw or the leaves of wheat. Some scholars say it also means the leaves of vegetation and produce when eaten by cattle and defecated out as dung.
Yeah. Like, a corn, yeah? When you say corn and then you peel it. So this corn that you peel it, what? Become garbage, not worthy. So this has happened. So imagine, can you see the Arab, they can see their meat, yeah? And then the meat fall down, you can see the bone. I don't know, yeah? So, no, in the conclusion was lesson we can learn from here, from the story, okay? Okay, Sham?
Surah Al Fil explains that it is Allah who defended his sacred house and never allowed the polytheists or pagans to protect it. However, since Prophet Muhammad was sent with the final message, the issue of protecting the sanctuaries has transferred from the unknown soldiers of Allah to Muslims. Muslims now have a duty to exert the effort to protect the sanctity of Allah's faith and to ensure that its symbols are never violated by anyone. As Allah the Almighty honored us with his faith, we should maintain this honor through doing our best to defend the faith of Allah. Finally, the surah should be understood as a reminder for us as well. As Allah makes us Muslims and granted us safety, we should believe in Him and never turn our backs to Him or His way of life, Islam.
Yeah, yeah. So in general, when you reflect Surah Al-Fil, right? So as you can see, the first, Abraha, the ruler of Yemen, right, tried to demolish the Kaaba and using massive army. Yeah, this is the called the acts of aggression. Yeah, but why Allah Subhanahu wa Taala did not ask Quraysh to defend the Kaaba like after that? Because after that, halas, Allah Subhanahu wa Taala never send the bird, never send, if somebody attack, they will, and Kaaba have been destroyed many times. The group of I forget, group from Shia, he took the Hajar Aswad and they was kept with them for 20 years until the Sunni Muslim came and asked him to bring it back and had to pay a lot of money. Yeah. So because the Quraysh was pagan on that time, so Allah Subhanahu wa Taala, didn't want that pagan defending his house. He wanted somebody who believed in Allah Subhanahu wa Taala, his oneness to sin. Right? And then also we learn about the many enemy of Islam, they always make plan and plot. Yeah. So we know that the plan and plot of Abraha, not only to destroy the Kaaba, but to destroy also who? The baby prophets. They know it. Right? So they know no future for Islam. So when Allah defend Kaaba, also Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala want to defend the messenger who going to send, from that place. Muhammad sallallahu on that time there, he's still baby. Yeah. So therefore, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, through this message, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for the Quraysh is to remind them, but also from us. Right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala start by said, Alam taro. Did you see? At the same also, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sometimes give us many sign to us to reflect, not about the destroying the Kaaba, but about what happened in the world now. Now we have a pandemic, right? Pandemic should be what? Should be to be a lesson for us. How many we see pandemic? We said alam taro. Did you see? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, did you see what happened now? Because in the Quran said, Dhaharul fasadu fil barri wal bahri bima kasabat aydin nas. He said the corruption, the evil is appear on the land and on the sea because of the action of the people. Right? So, alam taro, did you see? Yeah. And also maybe you see in your life among your brother, your sister, that they doing something not supposed to, right? And then what happened? Yeah. But not a lot of people they are reflect, right? Alam taro kaifa fa'ala. Allah SWT also we learn from here the word kaifa. Kaifa mean how? Why Allah SWT said, he didn't say, for example, just did you see, that Allah this dinner? He said kaifa, ask question. Because Allah SWT want us also to use the word kaifa a lot. How? Because this how can bring your iman more strong, more firm. Like Ibrahim alaihissalam, what Ibrahim said, kaifa tuhil mauta. Wallah, can you show me how you bring a life from death? Right? Allah asked questions, said, Qala awalam tu'min. Ibrahim, you don't believe me? I said, no. I believe you, Allah. I know. Right? Because he didn't said, can you? If he say, can you, there's no etiquette. There's no good. You can say to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But how? Yeah? And the word how is very important. Right? It said, Walakin liyatma'inna qalbi. But I want my heart to be convened, to be firm. Example, if your friend came to you, said, I study Kung Fu for years and I have black belt, black belt, so you believe him, right? Yeah, because he never lie. But how to make you really convened? Yeah. So you bring, for example, 10 brick. Yeah. Okay, man. Right. Is it? And then what happened with you? Can device. Yeah. And this is the problem with us in our education. We don't want to talk about how. Yeah. For example, we always talk about to our children, you have to pray, you have to fasting, right? And then when you children said, why? I said, are you Muslim or not? Yeah. And this is very important to motivate the people. Yeah. Kaifa fa'ala rabbuka. Rabbuka. This is also Allah SWT. But I would like to reflect every word that we learn from this surah because it's very deep. Why didn't said Kaifa fa'ala ilahuka? It could be ilahuka. But Allah SWT choose Rabbuka. Of course, for Quraysh, Allah SWT said, look, Rob from the word tarbiyah, education. Hey, your master, who provide you with all the blessing. Right? Inshallah, next we'll talk about Surah Quraysh. Right? The Ilafi Quraysh. Quraysh have a custom, have a habit to travel everywhere. And they are protected. Right? At amahum min ju wa amanu min khawf. Allah provide with from the hunger. Very interesting. There is no single trees in Makkah. But from that time until now, you can find banana, apple, all kind of food and fruit. There's no tree there, right? Because Quraysh when traveling, they're able to bring whatever they want. And this is what? Rabbuka, your Rob, your master that take care of you, right? And for us also the same. When he said Rabbana, you have to feel the closeness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yeah? Kaifa fa'ala rabbuka bi ashabil fil. Ashab, as we know this or not, fil is only one elephant. What the plural of 11 is afyal. Afyal. But why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala just mentioned only one, the people of 11? Because Mahmud, the big 11, like a tank on their time. Yeah, yeah. The huge soldiers. Yeah. كيف ألم ترى كيف فعل ربك بأصحاب الفيل ألم يجعل كيدهم في تدليل. Kaid mean plan and plot. Yeah, and we have to be careful. In Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala send every surah, they have a goal, the purpose. Surah Al-Araf, the purpose is what? That Allah want to tell us that the confrontation between the haq, the truthful, and the false will continue until the judgment. Between good and evil will continue. And the evil always make plan and plot. Right? So when there is confrontation, there is a fighting between the good and bad, right? Where we have to stand, right? With the truth, right? But some people sometimes, man, if I stand with the truth, my life will be in danger. My economy is dangerous, right? So this is what happened. So therefore, in their judgment, a silent is not safe for us. So we have to stand firm with the truth. Again, the kind, the plan, the plot of the people of enemy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right? Wa arsala alayhim tayran ababil. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent tayr. So that means also we learn from here, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala want to help people, is beyond our imagination. I was thinking about the pandemic. As we know that in our situation, the pandemic, the people who are affected will increase in this country, right? So yesterday we have in the masjid we have so alhamdulillah somebody become Muslim, and then his father was there, but his father not become Muslim, but his sympathy with Islam, with his son become Muslim, right? And he's forever from now on. We have to have a mass, we have to, because this pandemic will not gone. And I said, no.
You come back.
Right? There's only two ways. God said, that's enough. I test them. Or Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give people knowledge to find the vaccine and to remove it. But we as Muslims always hope. And always we consider this is a lesson from us. I never imagined in my life that I'm going to wearing mask, and go to masjid, you pray distant, and you cannot hug anymore. I never imagined in my life. And then when I reflect about what people doing in this world, Muslim, non-Muslim, right? I think is it deserved. They are too far from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But still, even with this situation, people become numb. Instead, they really reflect and go back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But they continue, some people still disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right? So in the end, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala faja'alahum ka'asfim ma'kul. This Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala want to tell us also. He made them like eaten straw. Yeah. So sometimes the falsehood, the battle, they win. They are in top and the up, right? But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, in the end, al-haq, the truthful will be revealed, will be privileged, will win. Yeah. So somebody always asks me question, why are we in this state? Look at what happened in Iraq, in Syria, in many Muslim countries, in France, Muslims are humiliated everywhere, right? And I told them, look, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, after the Muslim lost the battle of Uhud, this ayah said, وَلِيُمَحِّصَ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا. The reason Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala let the Muslim defeated in the battle of Uhud, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can select those who really believe, وَيَمْحَقُ الْكَافِرِينَ. Because how do we know that we are the true believer without a test? This is the selected time. Like the Talut, Talut, when they're going to fight against the Galilean, very strong and an army called Jalut, and he have huge soldiers. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he know that not all soldiers have the same standard. So he said, you're going to travel now, and then you see the river. When you see the river, nobody can take shower, nobody allowed to drink except with the handful like this. Like this. They're running, fast in desert, is hot, and then suddenly they saw the river. Okay, can you imagine? You are thirsty after all traveling, you see the river, what in your mind? Just everybody jumping, right? But alhamdulillah, some of them stay. So what's the reason? Why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala test them like that? Right? Why is the water become test? Because this is very important. Right? So those people who are taking shower, drink a lot of water, Talut said, you stay here, not join with us. Khalas. Right? And then they continue. And they fought. And they got victory. Right? So what happened? Why they not allowed to come? Because Talut, he know, if they not come now, it's good. Will not affect the others. These difficulties we have with pandemic, some Muslim, reaction is different. Yeah. So that I think today the short surah about Surah Al-Fil, in summary, the Surah Al-Fil is for us is to remind us, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us blessing, you know, we have to become closer to Allah. We have to increase our iman. Right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala remind the Quraysh with all these blessings supposed to be they are believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and follow Muhammad sallallahu, but they refuse. Right? And you know the end of what happened to them, majority of them. Right? It's the same to us, inshallah. So, and I want to close, inshallah. Sometimes when you invite somebody, he said, man, everybody do it. Majority people do this. Right? Very interesting in the Quran, the word majority always negative. Aktharuhum la yaqilun. Majority of people did not reflect. Aktharuhum la yashkurun. Majority of them they're not thankful. Aktharuhum fasiqun. Majority of them they are fasik, rebellious. Right? Aktharuhum jahilun. Always majority. When come to good, Thullatum minal awwalin wa qalilun minal akhirin. only minority among the latter and minority before us. وَقَلِيلٌ مَا هُمْ. As I mentioned, somebody was making tawaf in the Kaaba, and he made very strange dua. Allahumma ja'alna minal aqalin. Oh Allah, make me among the minority. Make me among the minority. Umar get mad. He said, what kind of dua is it? This is the Quran. What do you mean? Isn't the Quran said, وَقَلِيلٌ مِّنْ إِبَادِيَ الشَّكُورِ. Only minority, only few people who thankful to me. I want to be like that. I am among the minority. Yeah. So don't admire with everybody do it this. Mama, I can do like this marriage in many people in our country like that. Yeah. Yeah. Before we make dua, inshallah, any question? Alhamdulillah hamdan yuafi ni'amaka fi mazida ya rabbana lakal hamdu kama yanbaghi li jalali wajhika wa adhimi sultanik. Allahumma salli wa sallim ala sayyidina wa ala alihi wasahbihi ajma'in. Allahumma anfa'na bima 'allamtana wa qina adhaban nar. Rabbi zidna ilma. Allahumma ya karim ya rahim ya rahmanur ya rahim. Allahumma jal Qur'ana rabi'a qulubina wa nura basairina wa jala husna wa kashfa hamina. Allahumma rfa' anna al-bala wal waba wahfadna min corona. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina adhaban nar. Wa sallallahu alaihi wasallam walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Amin.
So from now on, every week is 5, right?
Yeah, 5 o'clock inshallah.